38% from long range so far this season.
Yeah, they scored 81 at LSU. They shot 50%, got 56 points off the bench. Jake Morton, the first-year head coach, kind of mixed things up. Guys who started in the past might come off the bench as you look at Nigel Pack back out there in the starting lineup. There's Jake Morton. He was an assistant with Leonard Hamilton a season ago down at Florida State. He played for Leonard Hamilton. Known him since he was 19 years old, and has taken so many things away from the retired great collegiate head coach. We are underway, and Oklahoma gets the first touch. These two transfer guards for Porter Moser have been excellent. Xavier Brown and Nigel Pack. Another transfer here in Tae Davis. Putting it on the deck. Brown found a little space. Really kind of got into no man's land. Missed the shot. As we see the Alcorn State lineup. Lancaster and Morris and McDaniels can shoot it. In particular, Lancaster. He's made 14 of 25 threes this year. This is McDaniels right into the lap of Darion Reed. It goes. Same five for Porter Moser's Sooners. Mo McGee is the returning holdover from last year's roster who's in the starting lineup here today. And Brown and Pack are both in the top 12 in the SEC in scoring already. There's McGee stepping right to the bucket. And he got involved there with Tyson McDaniels. McDaniels may have gotten a little shot to the chops there. And for his troubles, he picks up the foul.
Yeah, and with McGee coming off that terrific game against Oral Roberts on Thursday where he had 20 points and 7 boards. The advantage is inside with McGee and his confidence. They're going to try to go at McDaniels, who's going to be a really good player in the SWAC. But when you go through the gauntlet they have, Alcorn State in terms of power 4s and 5s, he's had some tough assignments and might be another one here today in Norman.
So McGee, that career high 20 points against Oral Roberts back on Thursday, 7 rebounds, and in only 23 minutes that he achieved that. He has the Sooners on the board. 1 minute into this one. This is Morris. And now Nick Woodard, who's had a couple of good games, had 16 against Florida State. 3 different guys that have had a 20-point game for this team. Pack the steal. Ahead for Brown. And he finishes. DCO.
Yeah. Defense creating offense. Good help right there from Pack. And defense was much better for Oklahoma in terms of containment out front against Oral Roberts, particularly the first half on Thursday night. They're going to have to defend similarly. Alcorn State's going to put them in a lot of one-on-one situations where you're going to have to dribble contain.
Tough baseline trap, but it creates an open look for Woodard, and he squares up and knocks it down to tie us at 3. Nick Woodard is a transfer from Stony Brook. He's a guy that Jake Morton feels like can be an all-SWAC performer. First launch there for Pack comes up empty. McGee whips it inside. Little contact. That's a play Reed needs to finish, and it's rebounded by Alcorn State's Tyson McDaniels.
Well, this Braves team has certainly played a difficult schedule.
Florida State, Maryland, Minnesota, LSU already. And some pretty tough ones coming up, too, partner. Goodness.
They go to Ames, they go to Waco, they go to Oxford, Mississippi.
Amari Hamilton fumbles that one out of bounds. Porter Moser said progress with just what you were talking about, the defensive improvement that he called for after the Sooners lost the neutral site game, kind of, up in South Dakota to Nebraska, but progress against Oral Roberts. What was the progress that he liked in that game Thursday?
Well, we mentioned the dribble containment out front. They extended their defense a little bit. This more intensity, and probably the best thing, he felt like they were communicating better. And a lot of that may have had to do with Jaden Jones' return.
Yeah. He'll come off the bench today after his first appearance as a Sooner back on Thursday night. That's out of bounds, as over there on the sideline was Tyson McDaniels, so it goes back to the Sooners. The shot clock did reset. They say there was an exchange of possession. So Oklahoma gets a fresh 30 here.
Yeah, and Coach Moser, as he talked to you and I this morning, you know, he said, as you guys well know, that communication defensively is at the core of what I want, because I believe that's the most important thing. He did feel like it was quite a bit better.
Got to close out quicker, or he will make you pay. Nigel Pack, he's made 16 of his last 25 threes over the last 4 games.
And, you know, we talk about it every time we watch Oklahoma and Nigel Pack. He's only 5'10", but his ability to get his shot off, his quick release, but it's in rhythm, it's not rushed. It's because his footwork, his balance, all the things are absolutely perfect.
That's a tough left-handed floater that kisses the window and lands for Tyson McDaniels.
Well, McDaniels, one of those 3 returners for the Braves, and has a much bigger, more expanded role this year.
Better get on him. There's no such thing as a heat check. He never stops sizzling.
Now, Morris, you have to get out there with him. And it doesn't matter if it's 22 feet or 28 feet. He has time, and his feet are set. Pack can hit those at a high rate.
336 career threes at this level, and that's in the Big 12 and the ACC prior to this. That's the second most threes amongst active players. Baseline drive here. Hamilton got cut off. Good skip pass creates the open look, and that's spun out for Morris. Pack. See, now you got to run him off the three-point line. What's he going to do? Reed backs down Hamilton. Hamilton there to defend. Racing the other way comes Woodard. Down the lane, McDaniels got cut off. How about a 3 by Hamilton? That's good. Amari Hamilton's second made triple of the year.
And I tell you what, that's a heck of a play by McDaniels right there. He was the trailer. Oklahoma rotated to the corner, and he was able to recognize and then kick it back out on the perimeter to Hamilton.
There's Tate Davis. That one rimmed out. He hit his first 3 of the season against Oral Roberts. Still will continue to look for that shot. 9-8 Sooners. Alcorn State with a chance to take the lead nearly 5 minutes in. That wing post up by Hamilton, trying to back down the smaller Xavier Brown. Tough fall away by McDaniels. It's good. And Alcorn State has taken the lead.
And one of the things you've seen a couple times already, Alcorn State will throw it into the post. And they'll do it quite a bit, particularly in situations where they think they have a matchup advantage.
3 misses once again from Reed. Oklahoma taking a lot of threes here in the early going. They're now 3 of 9 from the field, 2 of 5 from downtown. Nigel Pack's made both of those threes. Hard cut drive by Dent, and it's rebounded by Reed. Long hit ahead. Davis punches one down. Excellent transition.
Well, that was a great job of Davis sprinting behind the Alcorn State defense. But how about the pass by Reed? I mean, it was a bullet on the money and in stride.
Sooners back up 1. Still no stoppages. We're a couple of minutes removed from taking that under 16 timeout. Woodard triggers and hits. Braves lead it now.
Well, Alcorn State, Porter Moser told us today, those 3 guys that can really shoot it. He's extremely concerned. Woodard has not shot it great from 3 so far this year, but now he's getting into the mix.
Jerrion Reed buries that triple. Oklahoma back up 14-13. Porter Moser's talked about these guys that have not made a lot of threes yet this year. Reed and Davis, Jeff Wonkwo. He said they need to keep taking those shots. He will not back away from encouraging those shots. Pack strips it away from Morris. Here comes Xavier Brown with a man on his hip. Reed, power dribble up, foul. He'll shoot a pair. The foul's going to be on Woodard. Back and forth we go. Nigel Pack doing what he has done throughout his collegiate career. 2 more threes today. Pack got to close out quicker than that, or he'll knock him down all day long. Oklahoma up 1, now 6.5 minutes in.
They're 0-6, and he's told his team, you can't look at that. 4 of those were Power 4 conference places, of which 2 or 3 of those are going to probably be in the NCAA tournament. And they've been in every game save the Minnesota game. And they've been great in the first half. One of the reasons is, for Jake Morton's team, is that they shoot it well from 3. They shoot 38% from 3 as a team against that level of competition. So that gives you a feel. He talked about their length, their athleticism, and they're probably as rested as they've been, because those first 5 games they played in about, what was that, Chad, about a 10-day
9 days.
Yeah, 9-day stretch. And so they will challenge Oklahoma if Oklahoma is not ready to go, but particularly the three-point line, they've got to defend it well today. The Braves are 3 or 4 from 3 right out of the gate, so there's proof in the pudding.
You know, as Jake Morton was telling us, yeah, fatigue can be a problem. He said he felt like really only one game where tired legs a problem. He said the biggest issue is no practice time, and now they've had some of that. 4 days since their last game. Now they have had to travel. 13 minutes to go.
Such is life, right, for them, because they have to earn money for their athletic budget. And if he can just keep perspective with his players, they've got a lot of upside, and certainly a team that can challenge at the top of the SWAC conference in January and February.
4 new faces in for Porter Moser and the Sooners, including Jadon Jones right there, who made his first appearance as a Sooner after a year and 4 games. He had been injured, and he made a difference. Scored 8 quick points against Oral Roberts Thursday. Dayton Forsyth also in, missed it. Also got the freshman Kai Rogers in, making an early appearance. Jeff Wonkwo was also out there. That one rims out by Travis Roberts. Quick break, Jadon Jones in reverse, up and in.
Boy,
Sooners by 4.
Sorry, Chad. Jadon Jones put on the Jets right there down that left side. And then he appeared in Wonkwo's vision. Great job right there for him running the floor.
Now the Sooners starting to open up in transition. Wonkwo steps into a 3. In and out. Rebound Rogers. And a reset here for the freshman. They run Forsyth away from taking a 3. Jadon Jones attacks the rim and is fouled. See if they get that on the shot or on the pass. I'm not sure if he was trying to dump that off to Rogers or not. It'll be 2 free throws for Jadon Jones when we come back.
Well, Jadon Jones certainly made his presence felt defensively in his return from injury on Thursday night, looking to get behind the Braves defense. Nice job of sprinting the floor. Oklahoma up early.
Porter Moser in the huddle with his players right now. He's subbed very early. We're seeing the first appearance this early in a game for freshman Kai Rogers. See Jeff Wonkwo out there early. Jadon Jones as well. Important this time of the year that you start to get some of those guys some experienced moments out there, and this might be one of those days that Porter Moser is going to be able to do that. You talk about coming out of the ORU game and the defense. Jadon Jones, he said great defenses are noisy. That's been a hallmark, things that are on the culture wall. He wants to see, what you don't want is a drop-off. You know, you improved. You don't want to have one of those games where you fall back a little bit defensively. And Jadon Jones feels like he can be a bit of a tone setter on the defensive end for this team.
Well, he's a former Big West Defensive Player of the Year, and you don't get that kind of recognition if defense is not important to you. I mean, he's more than interested in it. And a guy like that understands the value. And look, Oklahoma has not been great defensively as a whole this season. I mean, there's been stretches, but Jones can help that. He can help that certainly with the level of play on that end, but just mentally. You know, it's just like a good offensive player, a good point guard, able to make others around him better. He can make other guys better defensively around him.
Man, that was a hard straight line drive by Bryson Calamise to get to the bucket. Physical, attacking. 1915 Oklahoma. Calamise, a transfer from Iowa Western Community College. Jadon Jones, an open look at a 3. Skips across, no good, and Wonkwo is going to be called for a little shove in the back on the backside on that rebound. He'll pick up his first. And with Wonkwo's physicality, it doesn't take much for him to move a body.
Yeah, just a little nudge, huh?
It was. Just, oh, sorry about that. And the guy goes halfway across the floor. Big physical guard that has transferred in. He missed last season as well. Oklahoma's got 3 guys playing now who were on the roster last year but couldn't play because of injury, and that's Jones, Wonkwo, and we'll see Koala Tak, who was really just redshirting to get himself bigger and stronger. Jadon Jones talking about his defense. He comes up with a steal. Wonkwo sliding down the lane, left-handed, high, no good. And the rebound to Travis Roberts. Alcorn State the other way. Mid-post action here for William Henderson.
That's nice.
Jump hook over the 6'11" Mo Wagee.
Again, The Braves are going to run pretty good stuff. I mean, they're going to move it, space you, try to drive you, throw it in the post periodically.
Man, Jamil Morris making it real hard on Dayton Forsyth to initiate offense and making it a little too hard. Porter Moser shouting for his guy who was getting bumped and jostled all about before the foul. (1917) Xavier Brown back out there for the Sooners. Nigel Pack getting a breather. Under 10 to shoot. Brown going to take it himself. Tough fall away. Blocked right back to him. Shot clock's at 3. He'll take it again. And a scuffle for the rebound. We got bodies all over the place. Mo Wagee getting tangled up in there. And they'll get everybody separated. Send them the other way.
Yeah, I think
got a feeling we may have a review. We've got an injured Alcorn State player on the back side of this. As, man, bodies, big bodies come crashing down. Let's hope everybody is okay. Referees Don Daly, Owen Short, Alandis Poole are headed over to the scorer's table. He's kind of going to review. And that is, looks like Mike Jones is all right, freshman from Rockford, Illinois, guy that they're super excited about. And Brendan, you got a little update there from the officials.
Yeah, and so the initial call was a foul.
Following play is under review.
On Mo Wagee, and then the scuffle or skirmish, they're going to take a look at it right here. So as things stand, if nothing comes out of this, ball will be Alcorn State's underneath out of bounds, foul on Wagee.
That was the voice of Don Daly that you heard over there. Looks like Mike Jones is doing okay. Let's look again. Got stepped on as Wagee was kind of backing out of the pile. He's already holding his head and then gets that.
Man,
that is rough.
Well,
but I didn't see initially exactly what happened to him, but there's the fortunate side as he is up and alert and looking around.
Yeah, and Wagee caught him with, what was it, that left foot, which is a big left foot, by the way. And didn't look like there's no intent there. He's just trying to get out of the pile.
So as they unsort that, Mike Jones, we said freshman, Rockford, Illinois, lone freshman signee for Jake Morton, and they feel like it's hard to put too much on a freshman. You want him to get acclimated, but you also have to test him a little bit.
Yeah, and like you said, Chad, he's already down, and then boom, Big Mo right there.
Do you see anything that might warrant an upgrade?
Well, I don't, unless something was said. But if something would have been said, I think there'd already been a technical call.
We'll look one more time at it. So this is the beginning of that play. Yeah, right there. I actually think, but one of his teammates' legs, it was Calamis's leg kind of came down. His right leg came down on top of the back of his head.
So right there also, I don't. It looked like Wagee got his arm underneath Jones's head on the initial fall. Now I don't know if there's anything to that, but I did not see that until that last look at replay.
So once again, the only thing we've heard initially was foul on Wagee, and anything from that would be an upgrade or in addition to what was originally called. Once again, we got Don Daly, Owen Short, Alandis Poole over there.
Well, they're certainly spending some time on it. So
leads you to believe there's probably more than just a common foul. Wouldn't you agree? It didn't look like anybody left the bench on the initial scrub. Porter Moser's being given the
After
explanation.
review, we have a personal foul on 5 Oklahoma, followed by a dead ball contact technical foul, followed by 5 Oklahoma. It'll be 2 shots for Alcorn State and the ball.
So 2 fouls on Mo McGee, including a dead ball contact technical foul. So Alcorn State's going to get a chance to put some points on the board. And one thing that Porter Moser has to try to avoid is Mo McGee getting into foul trouble. And just like that, he picks up 2.
Yeah.
And we're halfway through the first half.
yeah, it just looked like one of those deals where everybody's scrapping, going for the rebound.
So
Not the, you know, look, not the worst thing in the world, but you get the, those 2 techs on McGee. Now, I will say this. Oklahoma's got to learn to play. We talked about this against Oral Roberts on Thursday. You know, Mo is not going to play 35 minutes a game. So they've got to learn to play a little bit without him, whether they go small or you start getting the freshman Kai Rogers in there a little bit. So I'm just, you know, throwing that out there as a little bit of silver lining, because McGee has 2, right, midway through the first half. So we'll see if he goes back in or Porter continues to keep him over there on that bench for the rest of the half.
And for the time being, they'll go a little smaller here with Davis out there and Reed at 6'8" and 6'9". Here's a 3 by Calamise, and he rinsed that one to tie it at 22.
Well, what's happening for Alcorn State, you know, those main 3 guys that really shoot it have kind of been held in check, but Woodard, Calamise, guys like that are now stepping up, making it more difficult to defend them in the half court.
3 down, so 5 points out of that exchange for Alcorn State. Davis, ball fake, count the basket, and a foul. He'll have a chance to tie it.
Now here's the last possession, Chad. Calamise right here. 0 of 4 coming in from 3-point range on the year. Catch and shoot. Boom. Looks like he's been knocking those down all season. Alcorn State now 4 of 6 from 3-point range.
So Tay Davis will try to tie it for the Sooners. And the back and forth exchanges that we've got. Middle stages of this first half. Davis missed that when we got a foul against Oklahoma on the rebound. Jadon Jones called for that one.
Well, this is exactly what Porter Moser was talking about today. He said basically, outside of obviously Gonzaga and maybe some problems Nebraska presents, he said this game concerned him. He said that this team in Alcorn State has some talent. They play together. They're well coached. They've been in tough environments. And anytime you play a team that is well coached and has the ability to make threes, that can concern you. And you can see why, Chad, Coach Moser felt that way. I guess that's why he's the head coach. And we're the when we're over here.
So the first one is up and good. Calamise, they call him Champ from Iowa Western. Came in with just a chance. That's what Jake Morton said. We'll give him a chance to carve out some minutes at the point guard spot as he rims that one out, but he's made a 3. He's got 6 points here in the early going, and Alcorn State leads by 2. Davis flashes free, contested, and he missed it. Rotating over to contest that came Tyson McDaniels. The other way we go. Now McDaniels trying to back down Davis. Double team arrives from Reed. He whips it out of the double team. Calamise, not this time. Long rebound, Morris spinning. And out of bounds, it stays here again. It'll be a 3rd opportunity for Alcorn State. They lead the rebounding battle now, 12-10 over Oklahoma.
Yeah, Jake Morton felt like, you know, even going against higher level competition, bigger bodies, as much as they have so far this year, he's felt like they've really tried to battle on the boards and showed some toughness there. Been pretty good so far here today.
That's a really tough shot by McDaniels. Forced that one up. And Forsythe comes the other way for Oklahoma. Here's Jadon Jones. And now Pack open again, but missed it out of the corner. Alamis tipped and stolen by Nigel Pack. And he'll back it out. So dangerous when he tries to slow up at that three-point line, but he turns it over. Here's Morris. Pack went up with him, forced the miss, but it's put back up and in by Mike Jones, the freshman.
Yeah, and a great job right there by Jones, the freshman, continuing to flow with the play, not assuming his teammate would finish, and he cleans up the offensive board.
It's a couple of steals for Alcorn State. And at the 8-minute mark, they have a 4-point lead. Pack kind of falling away, misses. Another rebound here for Jameel Morris. Alcorn State +5 on the boards. Inside McDaniels, lost it, tied up. Possession arrow stays on this end. As we take time out, Alcorn State bringing the battle to the Sooners at the LNC so far today.
We've been in some tough environments, tough places. We're not spooked here today, playing with a lot of confidence. They've hung around a lot of first halves. Up 4 here in Norman.
See from his team, and he's gotten it so far here today. How about on the Oklahoma side, Brendan?
Yeah, you know, offensively, they've taken a lot of threes. They've taken quick threes. And when Alcorn State's put Oklahoma in the half court, I think Oklahoma's been impatient. The ball hasn't moved as well as it typically does. It's sticking. You know, they're not getting to the paint off the bounce after making the defense move. And you look, they've taken 10 threes already. Good defense keeping them in front right there. That's the Braves' 7th turnover. But when you look at Oklahoma, 10 threes, if they're good threes or in rhythm or the momentum is on your side, fine. But it hasn't been. And if you take it a step further, I mean, you want Pack shooting threes, he's 2 of 4. Everybody else is 1 of 6. So if you're struggling offensively, Alcorn State now in a zone, you got to get the ball to the paint, and you got to move it on the perimeter.
Little touch at the high post. The leaner by Pack as they run him off the three-point line. And rebounded by McDaniels. Alcorn State with under 7 left, up 4. They led at the half against North Alabama. Only time they've had a halftime lead so far this season. And traveling violation. Hamilton just put his head down and got himself trapped inside. 8 turnovers against Alcorn State. Execution, pay attention to the scouting report, and rebound after the initial stop. That's what Jake Morton wanted from his team. Would you say so far so good?
I'd say so far so good. I mean, minus the turnovers, they played excellent basketball here in the first half.
They close out on Pack in that deep corner.
You got to get it flat. You got to get it flat, Chad. You got to get a paint touch. There you go.
Just a quick paint touch and a Pack 3 that's down.
It doesn't take much, especially when you have that. I mean, that quantifies as a paint touch. Nice flash from the weak side by Reed.
We talked to Nigel Pack after the Oral Roberts game the other night about his three-point shot. He said there's a lot of hard work that goes into it. It's been well worth the work. He is as good at that as anybody in college basketball. Oklahoma with a chance to retake the lead, and Davis attacks but misses. Contested up there by Tyson McDaniels. Williams turned away by Forsythe. The 3 ball out of the deep corner, rims in, looked like it was going to pop out, but Shane Lancaster, his 15th made 3 in 26 tries. He had 7 and 25 points against South Alabama.
Yeah, he's basically, to put it in perspective, Alcorn's Nigel Pack.
Wakwo drills a triple. Well, he saw one go the other night against Oral Roberts. Porter Moser said that's all he needs is a couple to go down.
Yeah, and he wants those guys, as you mentioned, Wonko, Reed, Davis, to continue to take threes as long as they are good threes. That one there in rhythm, you get a little drive to the heart of the defense, and it's kicked out to Wonko. That allows him to create that rhythm and knock it down.
Wakwo knocking a couple down, and talking to Porter Moser about that, and he said a lot of things can go through your head when you're not making shots, the last thing you need is your head coach to get into your head and say, stop taking it. Wagee is in there with 2 fouls as Calamese splits a double team and angles up a high floater. 2 Sooners battle one another, and Wagee gives way to Wonkwo.
Well, if there was no history, I mean, Wonkwo has made shots from long range in his career.
Not that one. There's a 41% three-point shooter at junior college. Doesn't always translate, but shooters can generally continue to be shooters. But are you a maker like Nigel Pack? Shot clock is at 10 for the Braves. Williams, short. Contested rebound back to Alcorn State. They now have +8 in the rebound category. They lead by 1. That's been a big part of it. Late shot clock. It's at 6. 3-ball Williams. No. And the rebound goes to Reed. Nearly turned it over in a foul call. Boy, he led Nigel Pack into a collision with Williams. Looks like everybody's all right, fortunately. That foul is on Williams.
Yeah, right there. I mean, Oklahoma fortunate that Williams didn't come up with that. Reed's got to be careful with the basketball and be the eyes for Pack as Pack is trying to advance up the floor.
Going to see Kowal attack for the first time for the Sooners. The freshman Kai Rogers returns for Mo Wagee. And Jadon Jones back out there. I'm not sure we've seen this lineup combination for Oklahoma all season. Porter Moser putting some youngsters, guys who haven't seen a lot of time this year in the final 4 minutes of this first half.
Yeah, I like seeing Rogers in there. I mean, he needs to continue to get minutes, get used to the speed of this level of play.
Xavier Brown, no. Xavier Brown, only 2 points so far, averaging about 16, and he's shaken up in the backcourt. Numbers for Alcorn State. Xavier Brown limping back the other way as a 3 rains in from Woodard, and a timeout taken by Porter Moser and the Sooners. Alcorn State with a 4-point lead. They're knocking down all kinds of threes. That's 5 of 10, Brendan.
Yeah, and Woodard has shown the ability to knock down threes this season. Takes them sparingly, but he has been on fire here today. 3 of 3 from long range. Braves still lead. In the game that was.
Well, we take a look at the backside of this play. Xavier Brown for the Sooners getting tangled up in the backcourt. Looked like Davion Williams and he were kind of tangled back there, and the net result is Oklahoma trainer Seth Tisdale having a look at this really talented transfer guard. He's only got 2 points tonight, came in from St. Joseph's. He was the A-10 Rookie of the Year last year. Man, he is such a stabilizing force for Oklahoma on the offensive end. And they certainly don't want to see anybody go out, but this guy would be up near the top of the list of players you don't want to lose.
Well, Oklahoma's offense runs much better when he's in the ball game. And if he's out for any kind of stretch, I mean, I think you can see the difference. Now, the good news is you have Dayton Forsythe, who's been playing very well. He's that first guard off the bench, very steady. But Brown is the best playmaker by far on this ball club in ability and certainly with his experience.
Screen out top. Davis gets Forsythe to the bucket. Davis wasn't ready for the pass. Jadon Jones steps into that one. No. Scuffle for it underneath. Wagee trying to go back up. We got a foul call. Remember, Wagee's got 2 fouls, but he gets fouled this time.
Yeah, so Porter Moser went back to him a couple of minutes ago.
We get that one on Henderson, his first. And Wagee to the foul line as the Braves are over the foul limit. So this will be 1-1 for Mo Wagee. Wagee had that career high against Oral Roberts back on Thursday night. 20 points, 7 rebounds in only 23 minutes so far today. He has made 1 of 2 free throws and now make it 1 of 3. He's got 1 point. And Alcorn State is not letting Oklahoma get the boards. They are +8 rebounding. Been knocking down threes. That rebound over the top by Woodard. And he came over the back of Dayton Forsyth. So Forsyth will go to the other end and shoot 1-1. Dayton Forsyth, really good freshman year. And Brendan, he's a good three-point shooter, but what you notice as much as anything is he's a playmaker. He's got that ability with the ball in his hands to set up teammates.
Well, Forsyth, you know, he doesn't have a high number of assists this year, but what he has been able to do, his vision and understanding of how to play, he's been able to get in situations where he forces help. And, you know, what they call those sometimes hockey assists.
Yeah.
So his initial pass leads to extra ball movement, which leads to a pretty good look.
Yeah, Porter Moser likes to call it start the dominoes tumbling. And that's what Forsyth is so good at. Oklahoma's struggling at the foul line so far today. Just 4 of 9 now. Down 4 with under 3 to go in the first half. Dribble handoff sequence for the Braves before they hop into their regular set. Tyson McDaniels, foul line jumper, strong. Foul on the rebound. I think they're going to get Jadon Jones.
Yeah.
Oklahoma's, they're having trouble keeping Alcorn State off the boards.
Well, and Jones didn't even need that. The ball, long rebound, came off the rim the opposite direction where Roberts was going. He just put up his hands and shoved Roberts in the back. And that's an easy one for Don Daly to see.
That is 6 against Oklahoma in the half. It's 2 on Jadon Jones. And so Porter Moser rotates Wagee back out again. Wagee's got 2 fouls, so he'll get the freshman Rogers back in. And Jeff Wonkwo is going to return. Jadon Jones with his 2 fouls goes to the bench.
You know, obviously, Oklahoma's better when Wagee's in there, but I like what Porter Moser has done. He's kind of gotten Mo in and out. You know, it's good for him to learn to play in a little bit of foul trouble. As much as they need him on the floor, that's going to happen some in January and February in SEC play.
Wonkwo finally secures the miss for the Sooners. He's got 3 rebounds to lead the way for Oklahoma so far. 2 minutes to go in the half. Oklahoma unable to get on track offensively. Wonkwo missed. Rogers the finish for the freshman, and he's fouled. One of the best plays we've seen for this young man since he's been wearing a Sooner uniform.
Again, a little bit of silver lining here this afternoon with Wagee, Chad, getting into foul trouble of 2 early in the game. You get Rogers more minutes, comes in. This is what you like. 2 hands, strong finishes. That should give him a little confidence. A lot of potential with the 6'10 freshman.
That'd give me some confidence when that ball bounces off the back of the rim, goes about 10 feet in the air, and then drops. I'm confident that it's going to be my day. 1-point game. Alcorn State. That one was batted into the backcourt by Wonkwo. 10 to shoot for Alcorn State. Calamese has had a good first half. Inside, hard dribble by Jones. Stripped. Bodies tumble in. Rogers has it. He's tied up. Possession arrow goes to the Sooners. Like Kai Rogers, the big freshman getting on the deck. I mean, he is true, legit. His wingspan's about 7'4". He is 6'10".
Yeah, he'll get there. I mean, he's obviously talented. Top 100 player in the country, 4-star. And potential over time to be a true rim protector at this level.
Oklahoma the chance to retake the lead on this trip. Reed, 16-footer,
nice.
Bangs it home, and Oklahoma back up.
Yeah, against that zone, part of the defense up the bounce, touches inside, or get it flat along the baseline.
Reed, the steal. He had the breakout, but he's fouled at midcourt, and I think Oklahoma's going to get the free throws out of that. That's that breakaway foul, and we've got a timeout. Going so fast, he blew a tire. Darion Reed's going to slip that back on. Shoot a pair when we come back, and Oklahoma looking a little bit better, Brendan. I think it started on the defensive end.
Well, 11 forced turnovers today, and when Oklahoma's been locked in, they've contained out front, turned the Braves over, and then right there, being up the floor is beneficial to the Sooners.
Did you wear your shoes so loose that you could lose a shoe like that? You have them laced up and taped on.
I mean, I don't even, they might as well be wearing
they're slip-ons.
Nike Dunks.
Nike
I mean, you know,
yeah. No, the Jordans are perfect. He's got to seal them on tight, or you might blow a tire as Reed did right there.
And I'm about at the age I might just start wearing high tops just to have them.
Yeah.
In case I misstep going up the escalator or something.
Sooners huddling up over there. Final 2 minutes of a half can be big, and Oklahoma could steer a little momentum toward their locker room here, couldn't they?
Well, the Braves have done a great job keeping Oklahoma off rhythm. Now, if I'm being honest, the Sooners in the half court offensively, they've been pretty stagnant at times. But Alcorn State's ability to switch defenses, go man some, go zone, has definitely affected that. Brown not being available here down the stretch for Oklahoma, their key playmaker, certainly a factor. But what's happened is the defense has gotten better here down the stretch as Porter Moser's team closes the half. And remember, they were just down 4 a few possessions ago. Now they're up by 3.
Math tells me that's a 7-0 Sooner run in progress, and it's taken him less than a minute to do that, retake the lead. Minute 10 to go, opening half. Alcorn State has been really good for about 18 minutes. Back down, McDaniels over the left shoulder and over the freshman. He lands another.
Well, Jake Morton specifically talked about McDaniels. Said he's had some tough defensive assignments, but he really feels like, especially when they get the SWAC play, he could be a very difficult matchup with that 4-5. And we've seen him go over his left shoulder in a nice way a couple times here in the first half.
Timeout with 52 seconds to go first half. Back and forth it has gone. Lead has changed hands 6 times. We have been tied twice. As Brendan alluded to a moment ago, Xavier Brown, the Oklahoma guard, who's been so good, averaging about 17 points and 3.5 assists per game, left. Looked like they were working on an ankle. There he is over there in the huddle. So good to see that he's at least up and around. And time will tell whether or not he'll be able to hop back into the lineup. But they do miss him when he is not out there. He's, as you said, that stabilizing force. Just gets them where they need to go offensively.
Very stabilizing. And, you know, you look at the game against Oral Roberts, I felt like the first half he was a game manager, which is fine. But I like him when he's being a little more aggressive, coming hard off ball screens, looking to attack off the bounce. He did that more in the second half against the Golden Eagles. But Brown is a really good player because he can play make. He can facilitate and he can score. And certainly at that lead guard position, he is highly important for Oklahoma here today and long term.
Pax made 3 threes in this half. So they're going to close out quickly. Reed now going to back down Roberts. Spin, shoot, tough roll. And a foul on the rebound. Rogers was in there battling away freshman on freshman against Mike Jones. And it looks like Rogers is going to shoot 2. That's 10 fouls against Alcorn State. So that's 2 against Williams.
Yeah, I think small things, but positive things for Rogers here in the first half. We saw the putback earlier, right there, battling inside. Forces the foul, gets himself to the foul line, and a multiple shot possession and opportunity for Oklahoma right here because of it.
Yeah, Wonkwo swatted that ball off the backboard to create another chance for Pack. 7 to shoot. Pack breezes right, falls back and fires. Tough roll. Rogers in traffic, really battling out there, and we've got a held ball. This time possession goes the other way to Alcorn State.
Yeah, a lot of coaches up right now on that Oklahoma bench clapping at Rogers. That's exactly what you want from him. Young big freshman. Chad, what you want right now is just hoping that he'll have a high motor at both ends. He did that. Good minutes, confidence building minutes right there for Rogers.
So he'll sub back out. Tate Davis is back in for Oklahoma, and Jadon Jones, couple of their better defenders with under 7 seconds to go. Been a rugged first half. 35-33 Oklahoma, though, with the lead. And now it looks like Jake Morton is going to send Jeremy Ellis in, junior. And the first time we've seen him tonight. Maybe trying to avoid another foul against McDaniels, who has 2. So that's the reason for that sub.
Chance for Oklahoma to be solid right here defensively and close out the half.
Williams guarded by Davis, got a crunching screen and then lost it. Dayton Forsythe couldn't get one up, and that'll do it for the opening 20 at the Lloyd Noble Center. Alcorn State playing tough. They've had a few days off to get their legs under them, and it's been a full battle here at the Lloyd Noble Center so far. Halftime, 35-33, Oklahoma on top. Alcorn State staying in it, making threes. The Sooners' run game was effective early, but they're going to need more of that. Putting on a show and hoping Xavier Brown can come back into the lineup in the second half for Porter Moser's team. What's at stake? Alcorn State has not ever defeated a team from the SEC, and Oklahoma, it's been since 2012 since the Sooners lost to an opponent from the SWAC. But a long way to go in this one. Once again, first half, things changed when there was the foul and then the dead ball technical called against Muhammad Wagee of Oklahoma. Alcorn State went on a 12-2 run. They felt a little shot of energy from that. And then Oklahoma kind of stabilized things. Now, things to watch here in the second half. And one good note for Oklahoma, looks like Xavier Brown is going to start half number 2. He had to exit with what looked like a twisted ankle. About 7 minutes to go in half number 1, so he will start. Oklahoma will go with its starting lineup. Nigel Pack had a good opening half once again. He had 9, made 3 of 5 from three-point range. And leading the way in the first half for Alcorn State, it was Nick Woodard. You know, he had a couple of good games, had a 16-point game against Florida State, so he's certainly capable. First touch to the Sooners. There's Xavier Brown. Doesn't look any worse for wear as we start half number 2, but he only scored 2 points in that first half. Nigel Pack lobbing it. Up top it goes. Wagee blocked. Swooping in came Tyson McDaniels to send it away.
Boy, McDaniels continues to play well at both ends of the floor.
So Alcorn State a chance to tie it up or take the lead on this opening possession in half number 2. They run Woodard off the three-point line. Davis hand up on Woodard, now 5 to shoot. Creeping behind Wagee and shooting and scoring is McDaniels. He gets the block on one end, the deuce on the other.
And McDaniels looked to be going to ball screen, and Wagee assumed that. McDaniels then reverses and goes to the rim. That's a really good play from those two Brave players.
Reed got himself stuck. Davis bails him out, spins. Wagee, he'll shoot this from time to time. That one is off the mark. Davis the rebound. Sooners get a reset here. And it's a 3-ball by Reed. It's good. So Reed having some success. That's his second made 3 in 3 tries today.
Well, I don't think there's any question that Reed is starting to improve on offense. And that's prior to knocking down those shots. Just with his movement, he's getting more comfortable on that end of the floor in the half court. Now he's getting some rhythm from long range.
He's the first Sooner in double figures now. He's got 11. Trying to back down Wagee is McDaniels, and he scores over the top. And this guy can play.
Yeah, and Oklahoma's leaving Wagee isolated, but what Mo is allowing is McDaniel to get him too deep. Wagee ought to be able to, with his strength, shove him outside his comfortability range.
Davis attacks, lost it, and threw it off the ankle of Mo Wagee.
When Porter Moser talked to us, it said regardless of personnel, the Braves will throw it inside some. And there's McDaniel. See, he rejects it. Mo Wagee gets lost right there, not ready to flow with his man to the basket, and the Braves take advantage. And the ball's pointed up right there, Chad. So all the weak side help, the built-in help, is not there because the ball's at the center of the floor.
15 to shoot as Morris rips through the defense. Wankwo secures an Oklahoma rebound. Pack the push, bangs his way in, got free from Morris, and Nigel Pack just so adept at using his body. You know, he is, he's 5'11", 5'10", they list him at, but you know, sometimes when you're the smallest guy on the floor, that's been the case for Nigel Pack for a long time now. you learn for a long time how to get yourself shots.
Well, and he obviously, the thing he does elite is shoot the basketball from long range. But you can't be the level of player that he is, the places that he's played, including here at Oklahoma, and not understand how to utilize whatever the defense is giving you. So, yeah, your point is perfect, Chad. At his size, he's had to do this for a long time. So he has found ways and learned how to use his body to create opportunity. So when he does drive it, you look at him, I mean, he's strong. He's got wide shoulders and a broad base, so he can absorb some contact and get himself to the foul line.
Largest Oklahoma lead was 6 in the first half at 19-13. 3-point advantage, just as it was to close out the half. And that's going to be a travel. Wagee stayed in front of McDaniels, who left the ground with no place to go.
And the difference was, once McDaniels got to about that 12-foot mark just inside the paint, Wagee didn't allow him to get deeper. And so it doesn't matter if McDaniels is posting or he's driving. That's much better by Wagee. He is so much stronger and a little bit bigger in terms of height. It should be hard for McDaniels to get position. He kept him out of there, and that was much better defense.
Wankwo launches a 3. Rimmed out, no. Trying to run the other way, Morris. Oklahoma today 6 of 18 from 3-point range. Nigel Pax made 3 of those 6. This is Woodard trying to back down Brown. Reed arrives for some help. And out of bounds it goes. Good help defense forced another turnover, and Alcorn State's turned it over 14 times now.
Yeah, and it was good weak side defense when Woodard caught the basketball, and it was kind of a delayed double team. Reed almost bluffed or showed right there and spooked the turnover.
Nigel Pack out at the controls. Trying to turn the corner. Wanted to lob up for Wagee, and he's fouled. Raked across the arm that time as Omari Hamilton got Wagee to send him to the line.
Well, you can see here coming out of half, Chad, with a couple possessions, Porter Moser in Oklahoma, it's an initiative to try to get Wagee going. Coming off that really good performance against Oral Roberts on Thursday night where he had 20. Now, he's not going to do that every night, obviously, and certainly not in SEC play, but you have to consistently get some things out of him, and certainly where teams have to respect him in the interior, whether it's a pick and roll or throw it into him every once in a while. So Oklahoma trying to establish him here early in the second half.
And after that 20-point game against Oral Roberts the other night, Porter Moser said, well, first he rolled hard to the basket, got himself some bunnies, but he said he has slowed down, doesn't speed himself up when he gets the ball on the offensive end. Gained some confidence and just slowing things down, taking his time.
And I thought also Thursday night he was not indecisive. I mean, he just played. Whether it was offensive rebounds, he's fluid. Tonight, I don't see it as much. This afternoon, I should say, I don't see it as much. Maybe he can get going here in the second half.
Of course, you get it 4 feet from the rim and you're 6'10". The decision's pretty easy.
Should be, I would think. You and I don't know, but
no. Oklahoma by 5. Again, their largest lead has been 6. Tough fall away and an air ball by McDaniels. Saying that he got fouled, no whistle. And Oklahoma by 5 headed to our first break in half number 2 at the Lloyd Noble Center. Starting to open things up maybe a little bit. Showdown that's going to be. Also have Tennessee and Houston that'll be playing this week. So some good out-of-conference games. Arizona State and Texas you see as well. Oklahoma is going to, a little bit later on, get into non-conference play. They'll face Arizona State. They'll face Oklahoma State. They got Wake Forest. And up next for Porter Moser Sooners, they're going to go back to where he coached and was so successful, his home in Chicago, Illinois. They'll take on Marquette the day after Thanksgiving.
So many more better when you say it like that.
You can.
Non-conference matchups nowadays because of the value of playing tougher schedule, that it It's not going to hurt you to go play people in the non-conference. More about net ranking and RPI.
Mo Wagee stepping up his level of play and has given Oklahoma its largest lead of the night. You see nearly 3 minutes without a point for Alcorn State. This is Woodard. Morris's three is short. Wagee, good job to hold off McDaniels in there.
And that's good scattering report defense from Oklahoma, because Morris is more of a driver. That's why Pack can go double right there. That's Lancaster or Roberts or somebody. You're not going to leave him.
Nigel Pack, he's made 3 of those today. Not this time, and rebounded by Hamilton. Alcorn State set to sub in a fresh 5. McDaniels hits the cutting Lancaster for 2.
It's a nice play. I tell you what, Alcorn State, Chad, is going to be able to run some offense through McDaniels. He's made a lot of nice passes, sees the floor well when he touches it in the interior.
Xavier Brown goes up high off the window. Brown just his second field goal of the afternoon.
Yeah, you know, I would love for him to put more pressure on Alcorn State's defense. Whether that's coming off a ball screen or just after some ball movement, looking to attack off the bounce. He really has the ability to do a lot of things.
It's a foul off the ball. It'll be the 3rd on Jadon Jones. Just hasn't been able to stay on the floor much because of fouls this afternoon. Picked up too quickly in the first half and may have to go right back out, and he will with his 3rd. And that foul on the floor and off the ball. More good minutes here for Rogers, the Sooner freshman. Had some extended time in the first half when Wagee was met with his foul trouble. It's a little foot race to the ball. And Davion Williams going to go to work for Alcorn State. Oklahoma the double. Good ball reversal up top. And a 3 missed as Jones couldn't land it. He was going to post Tay Davis. Nearly turned it over, but got it back. This is Dayton Forsythe, unguarded 3. Alcorn State going to run a set here with Calamise, who had a solid first half with 6 points off the bench. Calamise trying to blow by, had to double clutch it. And Xavier Brown the other way for Oklahoma. They will call a foul. Calamise, after giving that ball up, then turned around and fouled Brown. Kind of a choppy sequence here both ways. Oklahoma has had the most rhythm. They have outscored Alcorn State 11-6 here in the second half to open up the lead to 7, the largest it's been, as Brown exits. A bigger lineup here for Oklahoma. Rogers with Davis and also Reed out there.
And the Braves back in that zone right here. Good look.
Sooners, as you like to say, get it flat. Creates the open look for Davis. He gets his own miss. Right back up. And a couple of free throws coming here for Tay Davis.
Yeah, what you want if you're Oklahoma, just get it to the right spots. Easy one to get it flat right there. You get a pretty good look initially from Reed, who's already made a couple of trays.
Tay Davis leading the SEC in offensive rebounds coming into this game, and 7th overall in the conference, a little better than 8 rebounds per night. 0 for 3 at the foul line today, though.
Yeah, I think he really has a chance to have a consistently good year, but I think the key thing for him is consistency in all phases. You look at the game against Nebraska, 17 points on 7 of 9 shooting. Really efficient.
That's going to be an offensive foul as Calamese tried to shake Dayton Forsythe, got him up around the face. Just a little surprised they're not taking a look at that, Brendan. The forearm was pretty high.
Yeah, right here. Well, that's, I mean, that's chest area. I think that's up towards the neck. It's extended right there, but good job of Forsythe being aggressive out front, extending the defensive pressure. Sorry, Chaz, because one thing Oklahoma's been able to do today is turn the Braves over.
Pack for three. Nearly dunked down on the backside by Reed and put home by Tay Davis. Where Reed was up there just kind of hanging out above the rim. He was kind of orbiting the basket there, trying to dunk that one home. Forsythe out there trying to pick the pocket of the young freshman Jones. Pull-up jumper, back of the iron from Williams. Here comes Forsythe. Oklahoma by 10, but a turnover. Forsythe threw it behind Pack. We head to break. 10-point game. Oklahoma, largest advantage of the afternoon so far at the Lloyd Noble Center. Lead out a little bit. It was only 3 at halftime. 10-point game now with under 12 to go. And Darion Reed, the Alabama transfer, missed some games there last season, missed 13. He was on that Elite 18, but man, he's got so many different elements to his game that we've seen so far today, Brendan.
Yeah, and like I said, I really feel like he's improving on the offensive end in terms of what shots to take, where he fits in, if you will. You saw his 2 3-point makes. That matches his total all season long. He's 2 of 14 from 3 coming into today. Knocks those down. You saw the short corner. He's doing a better job on the glass the last 3 ball games. And another way you're getting offensive production, minus Oral Roberts, where he didn't go to the line any on Thursday night, he's been getting there some. He's been there 4 times today. He went there 6 times against Gonzaga, 5 against Nebraska. You know, just touching the stat sheet in different spots little by little.
And that's been the key right there. Oklahoma's defensive alertness and pressure has just been better, forcing that turnover.
Exactly. They're picking them up higher. You know, they allowed Alcorn State at times, you know, just even pushing in secondary break, getting, you know, too easy, flattening Oklahoma's defense, able to start their offense where they're comfortable. They haven't been comfortable for the last several possessions. A lot of it's been Forsythe out front pressure.
Hard straight line drive. Davis angles to the rim but can't finish. He's tangled up and back on the backside of this play. Wagee steals it. That was pretty delicate right there. Didn't run over anybody, came away with it, and didn't commit a foul. There's Pack, high and soft, but not in. Davis volleyballs it back out, but the Braves come the other way with it. Jamil Morris. Alcorn State needs a bucket here, Brendan.
Yeah,
where are they going?
And this is the part of those games when you look at LSU, you look at Maryland, you look at Florida State, where they just weren't able to close out and hang down. So that's big right there, because what happened in each of those games and what we're seeing here, they're very much in the game around that 8, 10, 12-point deficit. And then the other team has been kind of able to slowly create distance, so that's a big bucket right there.
And it's the first of the day for Williams. He can shoot the 3, though. He's made 13 of 32 now. Forsythe bangs his way in. Falls just short with that. Mike Jones, the rebound. Here comes Alcorn State again. Chance to chisel away at the 7-point Sooner lead. Wagee steps out to guard Morris in the switch. And then Morris didn't try to go past him. This is Williams against Davis. I think Davis may have got a piece of that on the way up, and it goes over the backboard. Alcorn State has managed just 9 points so far in the second half. Oklahoma has been better, and you know, you talked about it with Jake Morton, the head coach. He said getting to practice has been super important, and just making sure that in all these games and all this traveling that they can sift through things and continue to get better. Sometimes it's hard to see where you're getting better, what you need to improve upon.
And it doesn't matter who you're playing. When you're getting beat every night, I mean, it's still hard to have perspective because there's a lot of context, I mean, obviously to their record, but the key for them like a lot of one-bid leagues, is to be playing well second semester. They still call it second semester?
Sure.
Okay. In the spring semester. But you can tell in talking to him with his background, all the places he's been, playing for Leonard Hamilton, coaching with Leonard Hamilton specifically. I mean, he gets it. He has tremendous perspective, and he likes his team. You know, we ask coaches all the time, you know, how do you feel about them? And they always say, oh, they're okay. And you can tell if they're telling you the truth or not.
Yes.
He likes his club. He thinks they have a lot of upside.
McGee knocks down the free throw, continues to get himself to the line. He's now 4 out of 6 today is Mo McGee, coming off that career-high 20-point game against Oral Roberts on Thursday night. And Porter Moser was talking about with Mo McGee that dilemma. You know, he is so good in stretches, then you got to rest him at times, or do you just play him all the way through and make the conditioning take care of itself during the game, because he goes so hard, and that's a big body out there that you've got to have. But it's a double-edged sword. You play him too much, and the minutes are not as effective.
Yeah, you're right, Chad. There's definitely a balance.
That's a turnover. Nigel Pack up the floor and forcing an Alcorn State giveaway as the pass was just too tall for Davian Williams.
Well, definitely a positive here tonight as you see the turnover discrepancy. That's a very big positive for Oklahoma on both ends. Forced 18, only turned it over 4 times themselves.
And that was another positive that Oklahoma had. 16 assists and only 3 turnovers the entire night against Oral Roberts. Pack kind of gave him the okey doke there on the baseline, but then couldn't complete the play. Alcorn State continues to try to run him off the 3-point line. That's not the only way that he can score.
Well, you look at his stat line tonight, though. I mean, I really think they've done a decent job on him. They've lost him a couple of times in the half court and in transition. He's 3 of 8 from 3, but he's 0 of 4 from 2-point range. So when he's gotten inside there, Pack has not been able to convert. He hasn't been able to get to the rim. I mean, they basically made him a mid-range jump shooter when he's gotten inside the arc.
That one was stripped away from Nwankwo, and at the last second, Williams, who is 10 inches shorter than McGee, got McGee off his feet, and he committed the foul. Those are hard to take over there for Porter Moser.
Well, Mo moves his feet great. Look at that. I mean, all you have to do is wall up, go from ground to ceiling, straight up and down, not leave your feet. And Williams would have had to make one heck of a play to score there. But McGee takes the bait. Now, so I'll go back to what you just talked about. Is fatigue. I mean, a big fella like that, he's been great. I think he's in good shape, probably the best shape of his career. He's healthy, but he's having to play in these long stretches. And to me, that was just a tired decision defensively. He'll go to the bench right now and get a little rest. It's kind of like when guards are tired on the offensive end. And that's sometimes when the bad shots come.
Right,
it's
almost like jumpers.
It's almost like if you've ever played in old man league and you're tired and you have the ball, sometimes it's just easier to chuck it at the basket than to try to make a good pass to a teammate.
What if you're like
you're
me
so
and you're too old for the old man league? There's not a Champions Tour at the YMCA.
Absolutely
not
there
yet.
is.
Maybe we could look forward to that.
I mean,
you're out.
I haven't played in 20 years, but there is one.
Haven't missed a 3-point shot in 20 years.
That's right.
10 to shoot here for Brown. Just a sweet hesitation, blown by, finish with the left. That's what he does.
Yeah, sorry. You know I like him. I just would like to see, you know, he doesn't have to score, and it's not going to come that easy. But I really think he could put more pressure on defenses, just like probing, attacking.
That's a contested 2, and just a tough shot there by Williams. Brown scampers back with it for the Sooners. Couldn't hit the freshman on the screen and roll. Reed, kind of a guarded 3, creates a run out here for the Braves. Williams stepping back behind the line. Henderson now tries to take off, and his jump hook is short. Look at that rebound, skipping across the paint by Reed. Here comes Brown, the run out. Pack launches. Rogers, the freshman, up strong with it, no. And Reed tips it in on the backside.
Yeah, those are the type of things Reed can bring. Talked about just touching different areas of the stat sheet. Great effort right there. Gets a tip.
Timeout here, Alcorn State. Darion Reed making a big difference now. He's got 13 points and 7 boards.
Well, here's Xavier Brown, lead guard for Oklahoma. Nifty move right there. Slicing through the Braves defense. Sooners now up 12.
Scrimmage/exhibition game. Not sure exactly what we call those anymore, but it was a game that didn't count.
Well, at least they let us watch or
and talk about it.
Yeah, see the stat sheet. But yeah, it's been a challenging schedule, continue to be. You know, that one at Wake Forest will be tough. Their only 2 losses are 1-point losses to Michigan and Texas Tech. So that's all you need to know right there.
Tough pull-up jumper there by Calamise, who's had a solid day. He's got 8. And a steal. Through the passing lane goes Morris, and right to the rim for 2 more.
Yeah, hey, and Nigel Pack is an experienced veteran along with Brown. There's no way right there that should happen. A guard-to-guard or cross-court pass against a single front pressure. I mean, that is just not being focused right there.
Reed able to alleviate the pressure by coming to take it. Shot clock is at 15 as the Sooners finally settle in the half court, though. Rogers, good screen for Brown there. Pack chased off the line. Brown isn't. He's open. And that's down.
Yeah. Nice right there. There's your 2 guards. That good backcourt of Pack and Brown working together.
They averaged nearly 36 points a game, and they've shot 54% between the 2 of them. 2-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio for those 2 lead guards this year. Reed really getting physical out top with Woodard. Woodard got his own miss. Couldn't finish it. Rogers, the Sooner retrieval. Brown, cross court, extra pass, 3-ball, Jones. And that's the 2nd time in as many games that he's gotten fouled on the 3-point try. Going to take you back through how he does this when we come back. Jadon Jones will be at the line for 3 with the Sooners up 11. Shooting 3 free throws. It's the 2nd time in as many games as a Sooner that he has drawn a foul on the 3-point shot. Porter Moser was talking about that with us today, Brendan.
Yeah, you know, this happened a lot of times at Long Beach State, where there's something about his release. I think it's watch his jumper. I mean, and he flows into it.
Yeah, and he starts out behind the line. By the time he lands, he's inside the line.
So he moves into his shot. He's not kicking his legs out. You know, he's got a little bit different type of release. You see it right there. Being left-handed.
Oh, those lefties.
But you know, Porter Moser talked about it as a little bit of a, not necessarily a weapon, but something nice about his game. And this happened against Oral Roberts in his first field goal attempt the other night. Got to the line, knocked some free throws down, got him going offensively. But I hate to use unorthodox. I mean, because he's a solid 3-point shooter from long range, but it's a little bit different release. And he finds himself at the foul line a lot. Now, here's the thing, you know, you're scouting him.
Right.
And you're telling your team, you know, be careful with the way he shoots it, but you got to get there on the catch and close out on him, because he does shoot the 3 pretty well. So watch that moving forward for Oklahoma and Jadon Jones as he shoots the basketball from long range and gets contested.
And I'm going to imagine there's going to be a time or 2. He's going to have 4-point play opportunities off of that when he knocks one down. Nice cut by Reed to the bucket. Wow. He'll score again. Good. Athleticism, physicality, and a finish. And Darion Reed's having a good afternoon at the Lloyd Noble Center, even making a new friend, it looked like, down there on the baseline.
Yeah, and Jones, you know, we talk about him lifting Oklahoma defensively. Look at that. That's right out of his hands. Doesn't put it on the deck. That's great vision. Excellent job of Reed running the floor and finishing after getting hit right there on that play.
Converts the conventional 3-point play. And so Reed has really lifted Oklahoma today. He's got 16 points and 7 rebounds. Oklahoma now by 17. Remember, this was a 3-point game at halftime. Alcorn State has only scored 13 in the second half. Five to shoot. Hoisting is Henderson. That was a heave and hope. Reed had the rebound taken from him, but Jones is able to save it for the Sooners. Jadon Jones, a step-in three. Rattled out. Rogers. Back up, blocked. Stripped from him by Lancaster. And Lancaster had that pass go off his hands. He throws it off of Brown, though. It'll stay here with Alcorn State.
And substitutions for Alcorn State. Returning is Morris.
Well, this game has not had what you would call flow, Chad.
Agreed. But it's going to have a winner. And that's all that matters. It doesn't have to be pretty to be beautiful. And it'll be beautiful to the winner. That was a high arcing guarded three by Calamise, who's had a good afternoon.
Yeah, there's been some players off the bench today that have really picked up their game. You can see why this team will be in the upper part of the SWAC conference. And there's a lot of pieces starting to play well together.
That stopped a 9-0 run by Oklahoma. 5 to shoot. Forsyth putting it on the deck. Fouled. A reach in against Calamise. And Dayton Forsyth will shoot a couple for the Sooners. Hasn't scored today. He's taken 4 shots. Darion Reed leading the way. Nigel Pack's the only other Sooner in double figures. He has 11. And Forsyth front rims that one. 10 of 13 at the line this year.
Yeah, hasn't done much today. Didn't score a ton against ORU, but he's the type of player that, I mean, if you're not careful as an opponent, I mean, he's going to pop you for 15 plus. Obviously, he did that in a big way against Ole Miss a year ago when he scored 25.
1 of 2 there for Forsyth. And it's like Mo McGee's going to replace Kai Rogers, the freshman. What have you thought of Kai Rogers? Most we've seen of him this year.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, you look at that last offensive rebound a couple possessions ago. Still a little bit unsure when he corrals that rebound at this level. But I love that he got to play more today. I think they're eventually going to need him to be a piece. Maybe a little bit each half when you get to SEC play.
Morris got that over the top of Reed. Oklahoma by 15 now with under 4 to go. Oklahoma has rallied back on the boards. It's been much better in the second half. They're a +7 in rebound margin. That one swatted high off the window by Tyson McDaniels. And on the scramble for the loose ball, we have a held ball. Possession arrow stays here with Oklahoma as we hit our final media stoppage of the afternoon. It comes with Oklahoma up 15 at the Lloyd Noble Center. Career highs in scoring and rebounding today for the first-year Sooner Darion Reed. Brendan, 16 points and 8 boards.
Yeah, looked really good. Done it a lot of ways. Made a couple threes. Like the short corner jumper. Like him best when he's active on the offensive glass. Got a couple offensive rebounds mixed in with those 8 total. Ran the floor well. Taking some contact finishing. Throwing a couple of assists and no turnovers. And he's had a really, really good day. Obviously, he's talented. Got great length and size. Former McDonald's All-American. And he's young. You know, that's the thing. I mean, he's got a lot of room for growth. And I think we're seeing some of that here this afternoon.
Yeah, you have to remember, he's less than 20 games into his college career because his season was limited at Alabama last year. But he's been a spark. Second half, you know, the career highs, 12 points and 5 rebounds have come in the second half, helping Oklahoma pull away and put this one in the win column. Darion Reed, the 10th McDonald's High School All-American in Oklahoma basketball history, the first to transfer in. Pack's 3 ball blocked by Calamise. Approaching 3 minutes to go. Oklahoma led by 3 at halftime after we had 7 lead changes in the first half. Hesitant 3 that time, and the rebound goes to Dayton Forsyth.
Yeah, I'd like to see Calamise right there. I mean, you got Wiggy on you. Now Mo Wiggy can move his feet pretty well for a big, but you always want to try to attack those guys if you have a quickness advantage. Make them guard you.
Wiggy tries to attack, but loses it. Turnovers fairly limited for the Sooners. That's number 7 on the day. Jadon Jones knocking one out of bounds. And we're going to see the freshman Kai Rogers back in there for Mo Wiggy. Alcorn State already a brutal schedule, and it's going to get really rugged after this as well, Brendan. Waco, they'll play Baylor, they play Iowa State.
Man, we were talking to Coach Morton before the game just about how tough it's been up to this point.
And he's like, I know. And
I started
listening.
He said, hey, you know, and he goes, yeah, don't remind me. He goes, I actually have our schedule memorized. Because you go to Iowa State and play in that building against that defense, and Waco, and go play Chris Beard's team at Ole Miss. Other than that, you know, the schedule's easy.
Yeah, this is already the 5th Power 4 conference opponent they've faced in 7 games. Reset here. And a foul as Forsyth came over to contest that pass to Omari Hamilton.
Well, they've represented well. I mean, they really have. And they don't have a win to show for it yet. Probably put themselves in position to beat South Alabama, certainly Howard, both on the road.
Morris down the lane, but turns it over. Nigel Pack, the long outlet. Xavier Brown streaks and scores.
Well, that's definitely one thing Oklahoma's been able to do today. It's 19 turnovers now for the Braves. And really, especially the first half, most of Oklahoma's offense, most of their success was set up by those turnovers because they weren't very sharp in the half-court offensively.
Porter Moser's team up 17, largest lead they have had today. See how he feels about it. There have been flashes so far, maybe not a complete game that his team has played so far today. And another foul that's going to send Tyson McDaniels to the free throw line. Well, Oklahoma's upcoming schedule: Marquette up in Chicago, then Wake Forest in the ACC SEC Challenge, Arizona State in Phoenix, Oklahoma State, and then they'll have that little stretch where they come back home because Oklahoma's not at home again until December the 16th. They're going to play either those road or neutral site games until then. They'll play Kansas City, Stetson, Mississippi Valley State, and then jump into conference play against, you mentioned, Chris Beard's Ole Miss team here at the Lloyd Noble Center. That'll be on January the 3rd. But what's the road look like here before they get to conference play?
Well, you know, it's here before you know, obviously. But they're going to continue to be challenged. They're going to get some different looks with teams like Oklahoma State, who's high-powered offensively, but honestly has some of the similar challenges, at least up to now, defensively, like Oklahoma does. But I think the main thing is, Chad, is this team's got to continue to buy in and believe in the defensive end of the floor. I mean, we just talked about the turnovers they've caused today. You know, in the end, as Pack banks it in, you know, some nights you're going to score, sometimes you're not, even if you're talented at the guard position, at least offensively for Oklahoma. I mean, it's the defensive end of the floor that's got to get more consistent, get better. There were stretches today, but it's still not where it needs to be.
Back cut there, but unable to finish on the lay-in. Hamilton. And Oklahoma with 12 seconds difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Career high in points and rebounds for Darian Reed. He's got 16 and 8. Nigel Pack now with 14, and Xavier Brown has quietly slid into double figures. He's got 11. Pack steps back and fires. Rinsed another one. What do you do with that,
Yeah,
Brendan?
not much. That was actually well defended right there by Morris, but Pack, as you know, has that type of ability.
17 for Nigel Pack, but gets blown by Morris, who converts off the window. Shot clock is off now. Oklahoma going to be able to seal what looks like it'll be a 19-point victory over Alcorn State after this game was a 3-point margin in favor of the Sooners at halftime. So Oklahoma will run its record to 4-2 on the season. Alcorn State's going to fall to 0-7. The Sooners are unbeaten at home this year. It's their third game they've played at the Lloyd Noble Center. They had a win over at McCaslin Fieldhouse as well. Overall thoughts on this one, Brendan? What'd you think of the victory for Porter Moser's team?
Well, you know, Porter Moser talked to you and I before the game and said this is not going to be a situation where we're just going to blow Alcorn State out of the water. I mean, they've hung around in every game they've been in against high-level competition, much like the Sooners, and that was the case. But what you like is they were able to get some separation late in the second half. You get Kai Rogers some minutes. Obviously, Darion Reed with his excellent day, best day as an Oklahoma Sooner. So certainly positives, but a tremendous amount of room for growth for Oklahoma, honestly, at both ends of the floor. And it gets tougher as the schedule upcoming against a lot of quality opponents, Chad.
Second half, what allowed them to get this lead from 3 to where it was at its widest, which I believe was 19 at one stage? How did they pull away?
Well, I thought they extended their defense. The pressure was better. You know, they turned Alcorn State over the first half quite a bit and backed it up the second half. But I just thought that the energy was better defensively. Forsythe came in, I thought, kind of set the tone. To me, that's the difference.